Greetings, Benjamin J from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, I wanted to do a quick video on this motor that arrived today. Actually, I bought this for parts. It came with a 999 shell. Anyway, I got it for $8 on eBay. The guy was selling it strictly for parts. The side plate, I don't know if you can tell now. This side plate, somebody had tried to pry this wheel off. This side plate was bent all the way down to the contactor. The wheel was split. The axle was bent so badly I couldn't get the bearing off. I had to take the wheel off on the other side and take the bearing off that direction. Anyway, this thing was absolutely trashed. So I went through my parts and replaced the axle and the wheel. Unfortunately, I don't have a spoked wheel. The last four I put on that 397. In any case, I straightened the side plates, replaced the axle, replaced the wheel, and this is the result. So a pre-war motor for $8 in splendid running condition. This is running just absolutely perfectly, as you see. Now, I bought this for parts for $8. It came with this shell, and this is how they showed the shell in the ad, just the bottom of it. Look at this shell. There isn't a scratch on this thing. There's a bit of wear there. There's no play wear, even on the sharp edges, anywhere, as you see. So whoever butchered this motor, obviously it never ran again, so they probably threw it in a paper sack and put it in the closet or something, no idea. Anyway, $8, bought it for the parts, and when I saw what was actually wrong with it, it actually only took a few minutes to repair this. I had to pull the wheels off, pull the bearings out, and then I used a pair of opposed jaw pliers to get in here to flatten this, to straighten it back out again. The only alternative is to split it and take the entire side plate and put it in a vise and press it to get it flat. I mean, this thing was munched. It was just absolutely butchered. So anyway, had to replace the wheel. Like I said, has a mismatched wheel on it, but it's up and running. Anyway, even if I couldn't repair it, there's more than $8 worth of parts here, especially considering the condition of this shell. Like I said, the shell was just shown just like that. So I figured it was in fairly poor condition, but it isn't. That's the neat thing about it. And this is complete, even down to the original light bulb. So I don't know why anybody would go to that kind of work to literally destroy the side plate and never get the wheel off in the process. You know, they pried it and pried it and pried it until they literally destroyed the motor, and then virtually abandoned it, I'm sure, because it was, for the layman, it was beyond repair. But, like I said, if you have a way to pull these wheels and press them back on again, you can fix anything you can find. All I had to do, technically, was replace the axle and that wheel. And it's not a match, and that's a Baldwin wheel, and these are spoked. But even so, next time I come across a spoked wheel, I can always swap it out. In the meantime, it's up and running absolutely splendidly. This is a pre-war motor. So whether this or the shell was the original, I have no idea. No idea if this is the original shell or not. It hasn't been repainted, as you see. That's completely original. Whether it's original to this motor or not is a whole different ballgame. The guy just sold it as is for parts. So I'm going to mount this motor in this shell. I'll do a follow-up video. This is going to make a really decent looking 999, and it cost $8. $10 to ship it. So one of the gears off of this motor is worth $8. The front truck is worth more than $8. The shell is worth more than $8. So anyway, an old destroyed pre-war motor resurrected from the dead. This thing was just absolutely butchered. You know, somebody had gotten in there with a screwdriver under that wheel and just bent this thing to death. Bent the axle, busted the wheel, and still never got it off. And yet they continued to pry on it until they literally destroyed the side plates. And this one was bent all the way down to the contactor. So in any case, it's up and running. So I'll get the screws, I'll put this together, I'll do a follow-up video. Anyway, as I always stress, don't overlook the junk. I bought this strictly for parts. And about 45 minutes of my time, I think, something like that. The main part was trying to get that bearing off of that axle and getting the axle out of the side plate, and this thing was tweaked. It still is, but at least it's runnable. That's the nice thing about it. Anyway, just a quick video on this. Don't overlook the junk. Pre-war motor, working E-unit, original headlight, complete. Has a mismatched wheel, but oh well. You can always replace that when you come across the spoked wheel. But in the meantime, it is up and running. So I'll mount this in a shell. I'll do the follow-up once I have it mounted. This is going to make a really decent looking 999, no doubt. So a quick video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop an email. BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.